This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And this is PunchNpie.
The Judge Jordan PunchNpie. All right, let's see here. What's your channel, Jordan? PunchNpie, whatever your name is.
Yeah, we got to do this again. So, sorry. Yeah, I got a channel. It's like 95% gaming related, mixed in with tech, a lot of unboxing reviews. I have a weird obsession with buying cheap Nintendo Switch controllers from China and reviewing them, so that way you don't have to buy them. And the occasional Pop-Tart review video, because Pop-Tarts are awesome.
And if he ever reboots this horribly unplayable series, that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's in the we're talking about it. Yeah, it's a little tough with the whole COVID. Oh, I said it.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I said it earlier in the week already.
The covert operation. No, I'm just
kidding.
Covert
operations. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Corvette.
Corvette.
Yes. Yeah, I'm saving for a Corvette, so that's why we played on horribly unplayable. So.
Covalescence. I don't know. Yeah. All right, so everybody go check out his channel, youtube.com/PUNCHNPIE. Boom. Go subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing with your life? You got to get some
go
punch
back to the
and
Wednesday
pie.
video to learn how he named his channel PunchNpie.
Yeah, and
right.
how he did not take any inspiration from PewDiePie whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'll give you a hint.
PewDiePie actually took inspiration from him.
I'll give you a hint. It's a direction and a location south of the park. Okay.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
Yeah.
Away. Guess they don't have to go to Wednesday video anymore, Chris. Way to go.
It's north. It's north. I
Nothing
was
else was
lying.
interesting in that video
No,
about
the
me.
rest
So.
of it sucked. That was the only thing that was good.
All right, today is Faceoff Friday. All right, I don't know why I said it that way, but that's okay. The prompt is actually why doesn't Jordan
cool
read the
intro
prompt?
with like where we like cut off our faces and swap them or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Hold on, Will. I might be able to help you out there. You talk. I'll see what I can do real quick.
Should Nintendo make the N64 Mini? That is what we're going to debate today.
Yes, that is what we're going to debate today.
So I am the judge.
Yes,
I will
he's
choose
the
the
judge.
order in which the participants will make their case. Each participant will address the prompt with their answer. No arguments will be made.
That is correct.
Well, there will be objections. I'm allowed to say object, or Chris can say object, and I'll say my case. And if Jordan thinks it's okay, he can say sustained, or he can say overruled.
Yes, yes, that is correct.
I like it.
All right, well, there we go. Okay. All right, there you go. I took Will's face off and put it next to his face. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Chris. I was so excited for what this is going to happen. I thought you were actually have like swap. Oh my gosh. Whatever. Anticlimactic.
I guess I could do one other thing. Give me 1 second. We'll just play with it real quick. I promise. This will not take long. There's niceness. No, not niceness. That's not what I meant.
Niceness.
There you go. Much better.
And I just gotta crop whatever the heck that is off of there.
Is this all making it in the episode?
It is.
Okay.
Best one yet. Oh yes,
Love
I like it. Just keep it there the whole time.
There you go.
Good. All right, this will make it much more enjoyable for everyone watching.
Will next to Will. All right. Okay. So, which person is going first, me or the unicorn? The Willicorn.
The Willicorn.
Yeah.
God, the Willicorn is such a majestic beast that we finally have seen one in the wild, so we have to go with that one first.
Oh, but
obviously.
even on the second go around in this, I have to go first.
See how I worked that up? I made it happen. All right.
I know, Chris, you suck. You always like, who's gonna go first? And you always like make a hint like it should be me, and then they always go for it.
Well, because they obviously know the right answer. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I even got a video with like a fake N64 mini for you going in the background here. This is from the channel LOC Trovisor. However you pronounce that. Lock Trovisor? I don't know. Whatever.
Heard of it. Okay, so should Nintendo make the N64 Mini? Yes, and let me tell you why, ladies and gents. Stop moving my face around, Chris. It's distracting. All right, so yes, and I'll tell you why. So for one, is profit for Nintendo. The the SNES Mini and also the Nintendo Mini sold really, really well. People bought it mostly for nostalgia, but they also like having the compact case with multiple games running at once. They don't have to bother with finding like the cartridges. You don't have to worry about having to go to the store and buy them. You have to worry about switching them out. You don't have to blow on them, even though it's part of the experience. There's already like preloaded onto the system, and even though that they're emulated, people still. Can you hear me right now? You're laughing or something.
No, I can hear you.
Like it's so weird. Like the face is so pixelated. It looks like everyone's smiling. It's very creepy.
Well, then that's your internet.
I was laughing at you saying about blowing the cartridge.
Okay, it froze on my screen. Sorry. So anyway, what was I saying? So even though it's an emulation on both of those systems, people are still they're really well done, and people still really like them, and they sold really well. So just from a profit standpoint, I think it makes a lot of sense for Nintendo to release an N64 Mini. It's definitely going to capture much of the same audience that bought the SNES and also the NES. As far as why it's good for a customer, again, for the same reasons I was saying before, the nostalgia factor is very strong. I would love to be able to go back and revisit many of the games of my childhood. However, I don't own a 64 at the moment, and I don't really necessarily want to shell out buying a whole system and then going through and finding the 20 or so games that I really, really like. It would be wonderful to have it come as one package, and to be able to just go to a GameStop or a Walmart or something and be able to buy that again. And then also the footprint of being able to buy a mini version of such a classic system, again, would be really wonderful to set that underneath my console, right next to my Xbox or something, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And just being able to go back and revisit those classic games and feel that, classic, ridiculous, strangely three-prong controller once again would be enough for the price tag alone. So that's my argument. Nostalgia, and I think that Nintendo would make quite a bit of money on it.
Okay. Do you have any questions for him, Jordan?
Can Will see the screen?
Yes, I can. It's very freaking distracting. I was having such a hard time speaking, so I can see my face moving.
It was so hard not to laugh. I'm like biting my lip the whole time. Your whole spiel.
It's like impossible to concentrate. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Horrible decorum here.
Sorry guys, I can't. You gave me something to play with. I have to use it.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
All right, is that your only question?
Oh my God, you brought up actually a really interesting point where you said that they would. It would reach out to the same audience that bought the NES and SNES Classic. Generationally, I think that maybe this is not a question, but I think it's more the next generation that they would be giving this to, because I don't really hold that much love for the 64 like you guys do because of just that few year difference in our age. Mm. So it's not really a question, just more of an observational opinion.
Okay.
So, disregard what I said. Moving on.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. I guess to be fair, I need to move the face around while I'm talking too. So we'll see how this goes. All right. Are you ready for my thought process here? Are you ready for it?
Please. Okay.
So I did some thinking about this recently, and this guy is really loving talking about the Krillicorns, or the Willicorn here. So I don't know what his deal is, but he keeps holding it and walking it around. So there's that. But the N64 Mini, Nintendo should definitely not make it. That's my argument. Because I think from a monetary standpoint, they've already milked the crap out of all the games that could be on the N64 Mini, barring a few options that probably have some licensing restriction, like 007. The Mario Party games from that system, some of them have already been ported or put on an eShop or this or that, and they're basically all available. Any of the games that aren't already available, like say Mario 64, which was put on the eShop several different times. The Ocarina of Time put on the eShop several different times. Majora's Mask Remade put on the eShop several different times. These games are already available on other Nintendo systems. So if they're still selling any of these games on the eShop, they're going to cannibalize the market they already have. So for example, until the Wii U is already gone, it doesn't make any sense to try to do anything like this because the Wii U has all these games available. They can still make money on the Wii U by continuing to sell you N64 games. They sell this N64 Mini, psh, what's the point? Nobody's going to buy it on the Wii U eShop anymore. All that time they spent curating the eShop, gone to waste. Not that this ever stopped Nintendo before, but the other thing, I really think that the market would not be there because it would be too expensive. Because in order to sell you a console that can emulate N64 well, and also give you the time that you had when you were a kid, it would need 4 controllers, a pretty strong processor, pretty big memory bank versus the SNES and the NES, not versus like standard electronics memory nowadays, because that would not really be that big of a file system. But people are going to buy this as an emulation machine. They want 4 controllers for co-op, and they won't be able to offer you the games you can't already experience on other platforms. Mario 64 is on other platforms. Ooh, don't.
That's unfair.
What?
Did you see what happened?
No.
When you sent that message, it came up in the middle of the screen above your face.
Cheating.
No.
Yes.
I throw out this case. It's clearly.
I was
rigged,
getting
right?
there. I was getting there. All right. I was
No, you
getting there.
weren't.
When we did this argument the first time, the one thing I made very clear was that the emulation would still look bad because the N64 graphics were not good by modern standards. They just aren't going to get better. And emulation is not perfect, so Nintendo would have to master that. These are 2 points I made the last time we tried to film this. By the way, this is the second time we're trying.
And that's the only reason why I said anything, was because I didn't want you to miss valid points that you made also. So
I was getting there. I was actually
Okay.
planning to make those in my closing argument, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
I will say
sorry. I
this:
was
if
just trying to- I was
Hypercan
just trying to help
actually released this stupid little console they demoed, I would buy it. But that being said, from a logical standpoint, having Nintendo release this console, this mini console, makes no sense. So, especially when this thing already is coming out. The what is this called? The is that system that has like multiple decks on it? I'm trying to remember what it's called.
The shoot.
I don't remember either.
Oh, that's not it. This is the Hyperkin thing that they did in Europe
That's
that
the
never
Hyperkin
came out.
64.
That one never came out in the US, I don't think. Maybe it did. I don't know. Oh, Polymega. The Polymega is going to have an
Polymega.
N64 cartridge, yeah. So,
Are they really?
yeah, I think so. That's what I remember reading. They were doing discs, and then they were also doing cartridge slots, so we'll see. Anyway, that's basically it. You know, bad software, high cost, or not bad software, expensive software, high cost, higher memory than the SNES and NES classics, so the memory is already going to be more expensive per unit. The fact they would need 4 controllers, and if they don't release it with 4 controllers, the controllers will have to be cheap enough that people will be willing to buy it. So if you release it with 1 controller at $150 and then it's, you know, $30, $40 a controller on top of that, nobody's going to want to buy that. So really they need to get as many controllers in the box as possible, or it's never going to sell. So, and then they could do color variants and all that other stuff, but when you could possibly just release these games as like an N64 collection on the Switch, I don't see the point to do this at all. You know, people might buy it, but you'll be cannibalizing sales of software you could be putting out on the Switch for $60. You know, every single one of these games could easily be remastered, put on the Switch for $60 a piece, and it would sell really well, and it would be cheaper than producing this product, which is something we know Nintendo likes to do, is just re-release old games for a $60 profit on the Switch. So, logically, these don't make sense. They won't look good on a HD television, and I don't think Nintendo is hitting the highest amount of profit they could possibly hit with this. So, that's what I'm thinking. All right, what do you got, Jordan? Any questions for me? Any suggestions?
We would have to assume that Nintendo would be developing their own emulation in-house, correct? Something based off what they used for.
Well, they'd better not pull a Sony and just use an open
source one. Well, see, that's the funny thing about it is, have you ever used the was it the Muppet 64 emulator?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean that'll play games up to 1080p, and they look reasonably nice on there, but. Do you know what the resolution was for these games on the eShop on the Wii U?
It would still have been like a 240p up-resed.
Okay, so Nintendo didn't put effort into developing an engine to run these games at higher resolutions with.
No, and they honestly probably wouldn't anyways. I think they cheated on this. If they did Mario 64 or Super Mario 64, Kart 64, whatever the heck it is, Mario Kart 64, whatever it is. I think that they actually cheated to put the make the screen work. Like you see how it's broken in this emulation video?
Yes, exactly.
I think they actually cheated to get that up there somehow, or they changed it. I can't remember which, but I've seen it played on the eShop before, and I think I don't think it's as broken as these guys' are.
Right. Yeah, because I think we talked about this before. Is that Nintendo actually outputted the video back into the game to go onto those screens to make that work, and that's why emulation hasn't actually been 100% perfect, right? Because they can't replicate that.
Correct. Yeah, because I think the N64 actually had two different display outputs, and one of them just would display back to the same display.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's an interesting hardware thing that they did, and I don't know why they did it, but okay, they did. Yeah, is that it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Closing argument time. Closing arguments. All right. So obviously the Willicorn on the screen means that I win because I am not a unicorn, so I can't possibly lose.
Can't side against a unicorn. I'm a majestical beast.
But I mean, logically, from a profit standpoint, this is not max profit for Nintendo. They'll make way more money not producing a physical replica of the N64.
Witness.
I mean, it's just cheaper to put it on a Switch cart and release it in a box for $60 or even $40. They'll make more money per game sold. So I just don't see the point to do this. Nintendo is more likely to either remaster or do remakes of old Nintendo games than they are to put out another box with old games on it. So, especially when they don't look the greatest. I think they're far better off doing like Super Mario 64 HD. But that's my closing argument.
All right, so my closing argument is this. Chris was saying that a lot of these games are on other systems, and you might as well just buy them at, on the Wii U or on the Wii or something like that. Back when the SNES Mini came out, I could buy many of those games on other systems as well. However, when my wife actually saw that SNES Mini playing on the display at a hot dog place of all places, her eyes lit up because all the memories came flooding back of her playing those games in her childhood. And that's the exact same feeling that people would get when they see the N64 Mini, is that, yeah, okay, I can go back and go to the Wii U or the Switch and buy some of these on the eShop. However, seeing the actual box, look like the way it was when it was plugged into your own TV back in the 90s, and being able to load up Star Fox or, Mario Kart, and have it look essentially the same and have playing on the same controller as back then, means a lot to a lot of people. So just having that feeling come back would probably sell a lot more units than Chris is giving it credit for. So stop moving my face around, Chris. It's so hard to concentrate. So that's I really think that the nostalgia factor is something that Nintendo is known for and really plays that really well, and that's very much in their wheelhouse. And I think that your argument about how much money it would actually make on each system, although maybe it would, producing a disc would be cheaper, or doing a digital version of a game. However, the R&D going into it may actually be about the same, and they might end up selling more if it's in the version of an N64 Mini than actually just releasing a digital copy of Mario Kart. So that's my closing argument.
Okay, so final verdict, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So since the cat's already out of the bag, that this is our second time doing this, I've had more time to reprocess your arguments, and you guys have both made 100% valid points. And we'll start with Will. That I agree 100% that from nostalgic purposes, this would be super successful. And although it's not my generational like youth system, if that makes sense, because I was really Nintendo and Super Nintendo, I could see how, you know, like my brother who loves 64, this would be perfect for him. And don't get me wrong, I'd still love to have one just so I can mod and put the games on that should have been on there because, you know, as Chris said, the licensing won't even work out to get the games we want on there outside of like the first party games. And even some of the first party games, like, will we consider GoldenEye a first party game or is that second party?
That's a first party because it was made by, well, I mean, I guess technically
Rare
it's a
was not
second
totally
party.
owned, so it would be second party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, so that was considered a second party game. So now, Chris, everything that you said about the hardware issues is my biggest gripe with it too, is that it's going to be hideous. The games will look awful. It's going to be the PS1 classic all over again. I mean, not as bad, obviously, because of the emulation, but it's just replaying all those games from that generation. It was... Early 3D games were hideous. They were awful to look at. And especially 64, everything was brown. So in conclusion, I can't pick a side because you guys are both 100% correct in your arguments, and I can't say one is less valid than the other. And I do apologize.
I'm hiding Will's tears.
Oh, you blocked it completely.
I know that's not the answer you wanted, but you guys both hit on really, really valid points where it makes... I can't choose one side or the other.
Well, basically,
You know,
you're saying that both of us have been revered, as Will put it in a previous episode.
I guess so, then.
Gotta go fast.
You guys are like the angel and the devil on the shoulder at Nintendo. They're like, we should make this because people will love it. The other guy's like, we shouldn't because our games were hideous as F, you know. So.
Or Will's like, we would make money, and I'm like, we would never make money, or we could make more money. We could just put
in
them
all
on
honesty,
$60 carts.
I don't think I want to see it because I know I'll be heartbroken with what it looks like.
Like if they actually did it?
I know I'm going in it with like nostalgia goggles, and I'll be really sad when I actually see those games. Like if they put 007 on there, I already know how terrible it looks. I've tried to go back.
Have you guys seen the Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine demo?
Oh, it looks amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'll totally take the GameCube Mini though.
Yeah, the GameCube Mini would be amazing.
100% agree with you on that
I'll
one.
buy a couple of those.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope
did they
come in
finish it?
All four colors.
Oh man.
Did they finish the Unreal Engine project with... Oh, dear Lord, if they did, this would be amazing. This guy cries and puts them out here. PC.
Oh, I figured. Shouldn't even ask.
Holy cow, this looks amazing.
That looks incredible.
So they should have put this on the DS, or the 3DS rather.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do you think Nintendo can... How do I say this the right way? They can loosen their ego a little bit and maybe work with that open source, the Muppin emulator to be able to run the games in there so that way they actually do look decent on the TV. Because
dude, this looks incredible.
This looks incredible. This looks better.
And Unreal Engine 4 can run on the Switch, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
They've been loosening up some of their business practices lately. I mean, they put monetization into their like cell phone games, and before they said they would never do something like that. So,
dude, Nintendo needs to just pay this guy to port Ocarina of Time HD to the Switch.
I'm amazed he didn't get sued.
Well, he hasn't released it as like I don't think he's released it as something you can download.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. He also did he did another one that you guys would never ever get
Donkey
released.
Part. Yes.
Yeah. Donkey Kong 64 Unreal Engine. It's incredible. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I saw this one too.
That is... Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just love the jumps. It's like ridiculous. Like if Nintendo could do this, then I'm on board with an N64, a faux N64 mini. Like that, it's basically a PC running these games in Unreal Engine 4. I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally down for it. But if they're just gonna put out the old 240p games that we've all seen and we all love them, but whatever. Oh God, he did Mario 64 too. This guy is incredibly talented, and Nintendo just needs to hire this guy.
Oh, this looks freaking amazing.
It's like the Mario Odyssey graphics.
Look at his little mustache. It's moving in the
Dude,
wind.
that
I
looks
know.
better than Odyssey. I loved Odyssey. But yeah, that looks
This is
gorgeous.
Mario
But
64.
we're talking about Nintendo like they're Sega, like they actually open-minded to bringing on somebody that did a better job than they did.
That is amazing. Even got the animation with the Goomba down. Wow. Okay. If Nintendo ever did this and like release it on a Switch cart, I would buy it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need to just pay this guy. Cryzen X. I'm shouting this guy out for this episode. This guy, Cryzen X, is amazing. We need to get him on the show to interview.
Yeah.
How many subs do
How
you
do
have?
you do this?
225,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
And
I just want to watch this. This is incredible.
I know.
I feel bad for anybody that's listening to this on like a podcast service that's audio only.
Yeah. If you guys,
We're just sitting here in awe and not saying anything.
if you guys want to see a really
That
cool
rain.
channel,
Oh
go
my
to
gosh.
youtube.com/C capital CRY capital Z capital E capital N lowercase x Cryzen X. He's got all these amazing videos of his work on Unreal Engine 4, but his biggest project by far is his Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in Unreal Engine 4. That's his biggest project so far. So
Too cool. Too cool.
this guy is amazing. That's all I'm going to say about that one. If you guys made it this far and you're not bored by us just watching Unreal Engine 4 demos, and I've lost the Willicorn somehow, I don't know where it went.
you threw it off the screen.
Oh yeah, when Sonic was on there, he said "Gotta go fast," and I threw it off the screen.
Yeah, this is now turned into the welcome to us watch YouTube show.
But we want to thank Jordan for coming on and coming on again to finish this episode because it was.
Couldn't get enough of you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And hopefully all 500 of you will subscribe to his channel and get him to 2K. But we all know that the views on this video will be probably anywhere between 50 and 100. So
Yeah.
to you
It's okay.
people that
I
are
love it.
dedicated to watching, go subscribe to his channel.
It's funny. I know if when I go back and listen to this, there's definitely going to be a difference in energy going from 1 through 4 into this one because we were totally. I don't know. I feel like we were less professional coming into the redo of this in a fun way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just feel like we just kind of came into it like, oh, let's do it.
I almost changed the prompt just to make it fresh, but it's all good.
Like I said the dumb thing at the beginning about the certain thing, and
The covert
I'm a YouTuber.
operations.
I should know better than that to never mention that
The
word.
covert operations. Can you imagine if you were like a commercial that reviewed beer, or a channel that reviewed beers, and you got to
I know.
and you're like, I can't say this. I can't say what this brand is.
The Mexican import.
Or what if you were sponsored by them?
I know.
It's like I have to sign up every video. It's like thanks to. Oh man.
Just look at this bottle. You know what this is. All right. As always, I am Chris.
And Will.
And this is PunchNpie.
And we will see you. And PunchNpie is going to sign off.
Yeah. Oh, on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye.
Bingo, bango. Got it.
See you guys.